We do it all the time, don't we? Just hit agree without a second thought.
Especially when it comes to like online gaming, right?
Oh, totally. Who's got time to actually read those privacy policies?
Yeah.
Especially when you just want to jump into a new game.
Those walls of text, no way.
But today we're actually going to do that.
We are.
We're diving deep into Steam's privacy policy.
Oh, this is going to be good.
It's surprisingly interesting. More than you'd think.
Really?
Oh, yeah. So we've got our instructions here, reminding us, as always, to read the small print.
Right.
Don't worry, we will. And, of course, we've got the actual Steam privacy policy itself, dated February 14th, 2024.
Okay.
So, ready to get started.
Let's do it.
All right. First up, we're calling this section Beyond Game Stats.
Okay.
Now, we all know Steam keeps track of what games we're playing, how long we play for, achievements, all that. And it's all tied to our Steam ID, right?
Exactly, yeah. Content-related information is what they call it. It's like your gaming fingerprint, basically.
Fingerprint, yeah. And that can be pretty revealing. Imagine you're scrolling through your recommendations and suddenly, bam, there's that game you swore you'd never play.
Uh-oh.
Your friend's going to know you were lying?
Busted.
Exactly. But it's bigger than that, right?
Yeah, it goes way beyond just your friends knowing what you're playing.
Mm-hmm.
This data, it's what fuels those scheme algorithms.
Oh, those algorithms, right?
Yeah, they're shaping your experience, probably in ways you don't even realize.
Like how?
We'll take matchmaking, for example.
Okay.
Have you ever been, like, matched up against someone who just seemed, I don't know, too good, like they knew exactly what you were going to do?
Yeah, I've definitely had those moments where I'm like,
Yeah.
wait a minute.
Right. Makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
It's those algorithms that work behind the scenes,
Sneaky.
using your data to create, well, what they think will be the most challenging and engaging experience for you.
So personalized, but is that a good thing?
That is the million-dollar question, isn't it? I mean, on the one hand, it can definitely lead to a more, I don't know, tailored experience. Think about it. You get recommendations for games you'd actually like, opponents who actually challenge you. But
There's always a but.
there's always a but.
Yeah.
It also brings up questions, right, about transparency and how much control we really have. Do we really know how these algorithms work? And what are the implications of letting them influence our choices, even in small ways?
Yeah, that's a really good point. It's like the algorithm is becoming our, like, digital puppet master.
Right.
But instead of strings, they're using our data to kind of, well...
To steer us in a certain direction.
Exactly. Speaking of influence, let's move on to the second thing we found.
All right.
This one is the public persona you craft or try to hide.
Ooh, interesting.
It's like with social media, everyone's got their online persona, right?
Right.
But we don't always think about that with our gaming profile.
Yeah, it's true.
But it's a thing. And I'm not just talking about like your username or that embarrassing avatar you picked years ago.
Right.
This goes deeper. Section 5.4, it talks about the Steamworks API. Apparently, our gaming habits are way more transparent than I realized.
Yeah, they can be. Even if you don't share personal info directly, the games you choose, how often you play, even
Even what? Don't hold out on me.
even things like, you know, bands.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's all out there.
So much for keeping that rage quit a secret.
Exactly.
But seriously, this Steamworks API, what is it exactly?
Well, it's kind of like this, I don't know, hidden network that lets game developers see your data.
So they have access to all that.
In a way, yeah.
Yeah.
It's how leaderboards work, how you get those in-game items, that kind of stuff.
So it does create this whole interconnected community, which is cool, I guess.
Right. Your achievements are part of the game.
But then there's the privacy issue again.
Exactly. There's always two sides.
Like, imagine a future employer judging you based on your terrible gaming choices.
Oh, no.
Or your friends finding out you got, like, completely destroyed by that one boss.
Well, maybe that one's not so bad.
Okay, true. But you see what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. It's something to think about, for sure.
We need to be careful about what we're putting out there, even accidentally.
Definitely. Now, get ready for this next one. It's a bit wild.
Oh.
Hit me.
Data after death.
You're kidding. Like, what happens to all our stuff when we die?
Yep. It sounds kind of morbid, but it's a real thing.
I mean, I spend a lot of time online. It's only natural to wonder.
And Steam's actually got a section about it, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah, tucked away in section 6.7. They say you can set guidelines for what happens to your data after you're gone.
Wow. So I could, like, bequeath my digital Steam library.
Well, hold on. There's a catch. It only applies if French law applies to you.
French law? What does that even mean?
Yeah, it gets complicated, but it does make you think, what happens to our accounts when we're, Gone. Yeah. Do they just become like digital ghost towns?
Right. Or virtual graveyards. It's a weird thought.
It is. And kind of sad in a way.
It is. And the thing is, there's no one answer right now.
So it depends on the platform.
The platform, the country, even the person's wishes, if they wrote them down somewhere.
So it's like the Wild West of digital inheritance.
Pretty much. We're still figuring it all out.
You're telling me my collection of rare digital hats might not even transfer to my kids? That's tragic.
Maybe not tragic, but definitely something to think about.
No, you're right. It's a lot to process, you know?
It is. It really highlights how new this whole digital legacy thing is.
Wow, okay. From sneaky algorithms to the, like, potential afterlife of our gaming profiles.
It's a lot.
It really is. Who knew Steam's privacy policy could be so, I don't know, deep?
You think that's deep? You should see some of the other ones we've gone through.
Oh, I bet. But seriously, this has been eye-opening. Remember way back at the beginning in our instructions, it said to read the small print.
Right.
Well, we definitely did more than that, huh?
We did a deep dive on the deep dive.
Exactly. We really went in on this one. We talked about those algorithms shaping our gaming experience without us even realizing it.
Behind the scenes, all the time.
It's kind of creepy when you think about it.
A little bit, yeah. But also, I mean, it's just how these things work now.
Sure enough. And then there was that whole thing about, like, our gaming history being public.
Yeah, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
And then to top it all off, we even talked about digital graveyards and what happens to all our stuff when we, you know.
When we log off for the last time.
Exactly. Which is kind of a heavy thought to end on, but.
It's something we all got to think about sooner or later.
Here's that.
Yeah.
So, okay, what have we learned today?
Well, I'd say the biggest takeaway for me is we got to stop blindly clicking agree on everything.
Oh, 100%. Those walls of text, they hide some important stuff.
They do. So next time, take a minute. Read through it, even if it's just skimming. You might be surprised by what you find.
And honestly, knowledge is power, right? The more you know about how your data is being used,
The more control you have.
Exactly. So everyone listening, go check your privacy settings, not just on Steam, but everywhere. Your email, social media, all of it.
It makes a difference.
It really does. All right, well, on that note, I think we've reached the end of our deep dive for today.
Until next time.